Hello class, my name is Evan Bush,
My name is Tedder Shannon.
and today we're talking about the macrobiotic diet. Some background information about the diet. The author Michio Kushi is a Japanese scholar who popularized the macrobiotic diet in the United States. In the early 1960s, Michio Kushi founded the Irohan brand of natural foods, which included foods such as brown rice, miso, tofu, tamari soy sauce, and other staples of the macrobiotic diet. In the early 1970s, Kushi, along with other students, founded the East-West Journal and the East-West Foundation for Macrobiotic Research and Cross-Cultural Understanding. Kushi started a small buying club to make ingredients for the macrobiotic diet. Kushi has been involved in research on health effects and the effects of the macrobiotic diet on cholesterol, blood pressure, and more recently researching cancer. Kushi has also taught a class on macrobiotics when he arrived in the United States.
Some research behind the macrobiotic diet is known that macrobiotics drastically reduce cardiovascular problems. Microbiotics is based on the understanding of food energy. Most basic principles of microbiotics is to eat ecological, environmentally based diet. It rely on primarily on foods native to the climate and environment in which we live, based on a Taoist philosophy of balance, restoring balance between the inner opposite yet complementary forces, yin and yang treats and prevents disease in us. Strict forms of microbiotic diet can lead to nutritional deficiencies, particularly in vulnerable populations such as children. Helps reduce inflammation in the body, improves heart health, very low in sugar and gluten, very little packaged foods.
As always, adopting a new diet can be challenging to an individual, especially if you've been eating a certain way all your life and never really had changes within your diet. While changing to the macrobiotic diet is reduce the amount of saturated fats within your diet, reduce refined starches and sugars in the diet, which will help tremendously when trying to improve your health, and start eating more whole grains and vegetables and beans more frequently, and always try to avoid foods that are high in cholesterol and foods that contain a lot of additives that can be bad for your health. And also begin to limit strong spices and seasonings within your food that can harm your cholesterol and blood pressure. And maybe find some cooking classes in your community on the macrobiotic diet that will help tremendously, and learn different tips and ways to cook, and maybe find some stores that you can find your foods in.
Here's a meal plan based on plant-based foods that is rich in fiber and limited saturated fats. Avoid trans fats. Instead of using butter, use olive oil or peanut oil. For breakfast, oatmeal, whole wheat toast, and apple butter. Lunch, cucumber sushi, boiled salad with tofu dressing. Dinner, miso soup, brown rice, carrots with scallion dressing, green coffee. Snacks, roasted seeds or nuts with raisins, rice cakes, seasoned fruits, or whole wheat crackers. The general proportions is 50 to 60% whole grains, 5 to 10% soups, 20 to 30% vegetables, and 5 to 10% beans and seed vegetables.
To piggyback off of what Tedrick just went over about the meal plan, while vegetables is a big part of the diet, there are a lot of vegetables that you should avoid at all times due to it being the macrobiotic diet. And these vegetables are asparagus, avocados, eggplants, green peppers, plantains, potatoes, some red chard, red peppers, spinach, sweet potatoes, and regular tomatoes and zucchini. And living in America, this can be very difficult because you go in your local supermarket and these are most of the vegetables you always see and always put in your food. So that would be very challenging for you and your diet and the changes that you have to make. And there are also some vegetables that you can use just occasionally, such as celery, cucumbers, green peas, iceberg lettuce, red cabbage, which is used a lot, string beans, which a lot of people eat just regularly in their household, and water chestnuts as well, if you like chestnuts in your salad and things like that. There are also vegetables you can just eat here and there. There are also vegetables that you can eat throughout your whole diet that you see commonly in America. There are things such as broccoli, Brussels sprouts, carrots, chives, collard greens, scallions, parsley, mustard greens, kale, and you can also eat cabbage and cauliflower and pumpkin. As most people know, carbohydrates are always essential within any kind of diet, but specifically for the macrobiotic diet, it replaces the simple carbohydrates and replaces it with more complex carbohydrates. And there's also slower burning, so you can get more energy over time. And these foods are that are put in the diet that contain these complex carbohydrates are brown rice. And the thing about brown rice is it releases a continuous stream of glucose into the blood over time instead of a faster release rate, which you would find in things such as your sweets that have high sugar and a lot of glucose. The most common mistake within a regular diet of an American is they lack a lot of complex carbohydrates, and along with that, they load up on the simple carbohydrates, which is responsible for most of the hypoglycemia in our population, which is low blood sugar. And the scary part about this is that more than 10 million Americans live with hypoglycemia, and some might not even know it. And a side note, some symptoms of hypoglycemia includes fatigue, excessive perspiration, yawning, shaking, and emotional instability.
Fats in the diet. The modern diet supplies about 42% of fat. On the macrobiotic diet, up to 10% of it. Average meal is bulk. The added bulk gives a satisfied feeling of being full without adding calories to the diet. This also helps the body more quickly and efficiently to eliminate the food it does not use.
With any diet, exercise is key. With a macrobiotic diet and a specific exercise routine, cardiovascular health and flow of energy in the body will be improved. The benefits of the exercise within the macrobiotic diet are very beneficial, and the suggested exercises within the diet are a form of exercises that are considered self-massaging, which promotes rejuvenation and longevity. It also brings balance within the body, a recharged nervous system, physical and mental energy will also surge as well. And after a few weeks, people may feel that their breathing is more free and their appetite for more wholesome foods will increase, which is also key for the macrobiotic diet.
I think that the diet can help many other people than just the ones with cardiovascular disease. Eating the right nutrients every day will give you the results that you need, that you're looking for, and can reduce the chance of you getting heart attack.
Personally, I feel that the macrobiotic diet can be real beneficial for all people, especially Americans. Heart disease is a common thing due to poor diets across all states. And with help of the macrobiotic diet, heart disease can become less common. However, with a diet such as this, prices of food will go up, which in some parts and in some people's cases may not be possible due to income of the families. That is all we have for today. We hope you all enjoyed this and you learned something, and we'll see you.